In the previous video, we introduced list as programming concept. We covered index, size, arrays, array list, and multidimensional list as part of the concept. In this video, we introduce the functions. A microwave is a wonderful machine for those of us who don't cook. Microwave meals come with simple heating instructions. For non-microwave meals, it gets tricky. Fortunately, modern microwaves come with pre-programmed features. We don't know how it determines the heat setting or the cook time, but it gives us well-cooked potatoes every time. A function in a computer program works the same way. Take a look at a function called max. The max function accepts two values as input. The larger of two values is returned as output. We use the max function like this. To use a function, we need to call the function name and supply the input values the function expects. The function returns an output, so we store the output value to a variable. Remember, with an assignment operator, the code on the right-hand side runs first. The result is then assigned to the variable on the left-hand side. We can view the output value when we print it to screen. The beauty of a function is that it can be reused. We don't need to rewrite the same code each time we want to calculate the larger of two values. The program code for the max function is hidden from public view. We don't know how the code is written, and we don't need to know. All we need to know is the function name, the input it accepts, and the output it returns. This is called abstraction. Abstraction allows programmers to focus on the main task at hand by hiding irrelevant details. This is especially helpful when a computer program grows to thousands of lines of code. Programming languages provide libraries of built-in functions for common tasks. Let's look at some of them. We've been using the print command as a means to print a value to a computer screen. Print is actually a function. It accepts an input. The input can be a value, or a variable that holds a value, or an expression that resolves to a value. It returns an output by displaying to a computer screen or by writing to a file. In the previous video, we introduced methods for a dynamic list. In fact, these are functions that belong to a list data structure. This means they can be used only with a list. A function that belongs to an object is called method. A method works like a function. It accepts an input and returns an output. The difference is that the output is applied to the object to which the method belongs. In the earlier video, we introduced string as a data type for text. String is an object, which is a complex data type. Like a list, it has its own set of methods. Let's look at the replace method. It accepts two input values. A is the original text. B is the new text. It returns an output, which is a string with the original text replaced by the new text. Built-in functions save programmers time and effort. But in some cases, they're just not enough. Programmers need to write custom functions. Let's write a custom function. The function name is max3. It accepts three values as input and returns the largest of the three values as output. The beginning and the end of a function is clearly marked as it's a self-contained set of code. The first statement uses the built-in function, max, to get the larger value of x and y. The second statement uses the max function again, to get the larger value of larger and z. Finally, the largest value is returned as output. Don't worry about the syntax of a function since we're using a pseudocode here. Each programming language has its own way of indicating the beginning and end of a function and returning the output value. The input value of a function is called the parameter. The output value is called the return value. A function can have more than one parameter but only one return value. Some programming languages allow a function to return no value by returning null or void. This wraps up the introduction to programming concepts. The next step is for you to pick a programming language to learn. Programming is a skill. It's best learned hands-on and with practice.